2K Sports checks in with our loyal viewers with the broadcast from New Orleans, the home of the Hornets, New Orleans Arena. Well, it was the New Orleans Hornets winning their last game against the Lakers in Los Angeles.
Well, the defense they were facing didn't put up much of a fight. I mean, they had wide open looks all game long.
Yeah, I know, and they were pretty much able to do whatever they wanted to out there.
All right, presented by State Farm, let's take a look at the Miami starting five. Wade and LeBron fill out the wings. Chris Bosh and Udonis Haslem down low. And it's House in at the one. And for the Hornets, Carl Landry is out there with Chris Kaman. Then it's Trevor Ariza. Then there's Gordon, and it's Jack in at the point guard position. And so it's the Heat getting on the board first. 5 on the clock. From deep three-point range, and they turn over the 24-second buzzer, signaling the shot clock violation.
And last season, the Hornets were not a big scoring team. In fact, they finished in the bottom 5 in points per game in the league. But it was more a case of just tempo than actual offensive efficiency. They played a very slow style of basketball.
Here's Jack. He had a 15-point outing in their last game against the Lakers in Los Angeles. Wade is tagged with the reach. That is his first foul of the game. And Steve, we're talking about, points scored per game, the fast style or slow style. Clark, they kind of took to that style of play, that slower style.
Yeah, they really actually had guys that were more suited to playing a possession-by-possession game, more of a half-court game, and that deliberate tempo really made sense for them.
Earlier, Doris Burke spoke with head coach Monty Williams.
Yes, closing out on shooters and contesting shots is something they talked about over and over in their pregame rundown. He said half of the battle when facing an offense like this is just bothering them when they pull up to shoot, and that every little bit helps and hopefully will wear them down. Consistency, guys, is the key to this defense.
All right, Doris, they're probably, Clark, well aware of the firepower they're up against.
Well, Kevin, Steve, you always have to be aware of that when you're facing these guys.
Yeah, no question. If you're not prepared right from the outset, then this team will punch you in the mouth and get off to a big lead early. So they've got to be up to the task.
With that one, boy, they got the crowd buzzing there.
A pretty perfect play all around.
What a fantastic dunk to finish it off, too.
Backing down is Landry. Over LeBron. And it's Gordon missing. Now Haslem. LeBron passes to Haslem. House. Lets it go from deep. Can't get it to go. And so the first quarter is in the books. Heat lead by... The second quarter getting ready to start up. Here's Banks.
You got to wonder, has Miami set off a bit of an arms race in regards to talent with what they were able to pull off last year? Are other teams going to look to stack stars just to try to keep up?
They've got Trevor Ariza. Gordon is out there with Marcus Banks. Then it's Okafor. And it's Kaman in at the center. That's the Hornets 5 as we get into the second quarter.
You get better elevation with the one-hand dunk, and it's the most basic of all. Keep it simple.
And probably the most reliable.
Yeah, hard to mess that one up.
Mark, you brought up the stars wanting to play with each other. Steve, it seems like that is the trend now in the NBA.
Well, I think every player wants to play with great players. And it's all circumstantial, really, if you're a free agent.
And he puts it down with authority. Right slam cam for another angle.
Boy, that dunk got everybody up off their seat.
Oh, they're loving it, aren't they, Steve?
Well, how could they not? I mean, he put the cherry on top of the sundae on that one. LeBron against Ariza. Fires from 14. It's good from Gordon on the assist by Ariza. The Heat leading by 7. Outside Bosh. Wade. Back to Bosh. And it's blocked. A chance at a 2-for-1 if they want it. Yeah, no question. If I'm them, I'm definitely going 2-for-1.
There's the 3. Ariza no luck. So it's Miami now. And going against New Orleans, their first meeting of the year.
Well, they thought they'd handled this club last year both times, but they actually split the two season meetings.
He's picked up by LeBron. Gordon. Again, the miss by Gordon. And here's Miami. 7-point differential. Their next game playing at home as the Nets come into town. That game marks the first half of a quick 2-game homestand. Free throw good, LeBron. Here's Jack. Kicks it to Kaman. Ball's knocked loose. 3 seconds left. Good D by LeBron. And we've reached halftime in this one.
It's been a solid.
And welcome everyone to this early season edition of HP at the. Out at Amway Center, it was the Mad.
Welcome back to the beautiful and unique city of New Orleans, Louisiana. Here's Jack.
Boy, isn't it good to see Udonis Haslem back and healthy after missing most of last season with a foot injury. He's a guy who's really been the heart and soul of this Miami ball club over the years.
Here's who Eric Spoelstra is starting the second half with. LeBron and Bosch are the 3 and the 4. Chalmers and Wade are the 1 and the 2. And it's Haslem in at the 5 roaming the paint. Jack dishes to Ariza. There's the dish to Landry. And Bosch picks him up defensively. Shot clock at 6. Landry kicks to Ariza. The tray. It's hauled in by the Heat. Haslem's got 3 rebounds so far in the game. Steve Udonis Haslem, when he re-signed with the Heat prior to last season, he could have gotten a lot more money elsewhere. But, Clark, he wanted to remain in Miami. I'm sure he is thanking his lucky stars that decision was made.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, he and Dwayne Wade extremely close, and Haslem just kind of felt like he had a chance to stay in a place that he considered home and would be able to do great things. Credit him for picking happiness and contentment over dollar signs. Sometimes that's the best call, but you don't often see guys make it.
Here. Al Farouk Aminu. He's checked in for New Orleans. Bellinelli comes in for Eric Gordon. And first time out of the game called for New Orleans.
Well, I tell you what, the Heat breezed through round 1 of the playoffs, knocking off the Sixers in 5 games, but their true test, as everyone knew, would be against the Celtics in round 2. They came out strong early in that series and got it done.
Chalmers is whistled for reaching in. That's his first foul of the game, and the bonus will go to the free throw line. Back to the Heat, they said after that Celtics win that beating them was a big driving force to forming the Big Three from the very beginning.
That's right, because none of them individually could beat Boston. They came together. They finally got past the Celtics. They beat Chicago, got into the finals, but of course they didn't end up with what they finally wanted, which was that championship ring. So that's what they're shooting for this year. How it happens. He's wide open, but just couldn't get it to go.
Aminu with it. He's up against Bosch. Bosch gets called for the reach. That's his first foul of the game, and the bonus will go to the free throw line. And he makes the first. So he picks up just 1 from the line that time. The Heat leading by 7. And here is LeBron. He has 7. Here's Chalmers. And it goes out of bounds following the shot. Well, let's take a look at last year's top scorers. LeBron James second. The 4th spot held by Dwayne Wade.
Well, these two guys both were phenomenal last year, and either one would be a guy you want to make sure he gets the ball, especially late in a game that you want to win.
He got it up. Got it off in time, but it's no good. And that does it for the 3rd quarter. Both teams. Now as we get going here in the 4th, let's send it over to Doris Burke for our Sprite Spark.
And Kevin, for that great stretch the Heat put together, they get the Sprite Spark Award. That offensive boom they had to start things off has carried them, and they haven't looked back since, as they have made the most of their early scoring bursts.
All right, Doris, thank you. That run has made a difference, guys. Wouldn't you agree?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, that's what got them off and going.
Yeah, they were really able to seize the momentum at that point, and they just rode it.
Okafor out there with Jason Smith. Then it's Jared Jack. Then it's Trevor Ariza. And it's Gordon in at the two-guard spot. So that's the group out there for New Orleans. And LeBron James gets it to go.
That's what he does. Attack the heart of the defense and get straight to the rim.
Out of bounds. And they retain possession.
Nice job there of disrupting that play.
Yeah, nearly came up with the steal.
The Hornets trail by 9. Jack with it. Takes the three. And that one's good. 7 points for Eric Gordon.
Boy, they've done a nice job here in the second half, making the defense pay from outside.
Anytime you can shoot the three ball the way they are in this half, you are never that far out of the game. You always have life.
Got a piece of it.
And nice swipe there. You can see his eyes get wide open when he saw the opportunity to take the ball. So many things that this guy can do with the ball.
And 1:01 left to play here in the fourth. Jack passes to Gordon. And Bosch picks him up defensively. Good.
He's really ramping it up now.
So it's Miami now. They've held a 12-point lead early. They put up a nice win against Utah last time out.
They would have liked to have won it in regulation, obviously, but that didn't stop them. They came out firing in the overtime and got the victory.
Steve, you really can't deny that they clearly were the more aggressive team in the extra session.
And now Doris Burke has an update from the sidelines.
Guys, over that last break, I listened to Monty Williams address his team. He said, "We didn't come this far to back down now. This is when we have to battle the hardest. Summon every ounce of energy you have and play your best basketball." Let's see how it works, guys.
Thanks again, Doris.
Boy, he really used his height there.
He sure did, Steve. I mean, a nice touch on that shot.
The Heat making a switch here. Anthony's checked in. Here's Wade. A bucket here would give them a bit more room.
And no need to rush it. Just play smart, get a good shot, make sure it's a well-executed offensive possession.
And now we've got the intentional foul. And he misses the first one. Does make the second, and that makes it a 7-point lead. Here's Jack. They can score it here, but it won't mean much.
No, not at all. Not a real chance of getting back in it at this point.
Yeah.
Steve, you think it's over?
No, it's over. This lead is just too much for them to deal with.
Outside Gordon. About 3 seconds between shot and game clock. Shoots from 12. Yes! Oh, and that cuts the lead to just 5. And so they foul intentionally. Gets the first. That increases their lead to 6. 2 for 2, and it's a 7-point ball game.
Nice job to make them all. That's a big play to extend their lead.
Now a timeout called by New Orleans. They're trailing by 7. There's 10 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Guys, your thoughts?
Well, they're going to need a miracle because this one looks like it's just about over.
Steve, more than one. They'll need a few of those miracles. I think we're done here.
He wasn't paying any attention to the defense.